The best first peptides, they don't exist. And every ranking video pretending that it does is answering the wrong questions. Because here's what I see over and over with the people that I coach. Almost nobody wastes money on bad peptides. That does happen, don't get me wrong. But what they're really doing is they're wasting it on the right peptide aimed at the wrong problem. Running compounds that their foundation isn't ready for, or layering in an order that makes results impossible to measure. Same vials, same doses. One order builds momentum, and the other burns 6 months and the money in your wallet proving nothing. I'm Dr. Jones, DC, and I coach patients all over the country on peptide protocols. I run these protocols myself, and I work with our medical team who handles the prescribing, and I get to focus on getting the sequence right. And that's exactly what you're getting today. How I actually think through a protocol, the decisions I make before the first vial is ever touched, which problem to solve first, and where I'd start for your goal, and how I'd build from there layer by layer. So here's what that looks like in real life. Someone spends 3 months researching. They finally pull the trigger. And because they did all that research, they don't buy one thing. They buy everything, right? It's exciting. A healing peptide, some growth hormone secreting agents, a compound that tells your body to release more growth hormone, something for fat loss, something to improve sleep. 5 experiments all running at once in one body. Then 6 weeks in, their sleep is better, great. But which one of those peptides did that? You have no idea. Their gut feels off. Which one caused it? No idea. So they blame the most expensive vial, drop the one compound that was actually working, and start the whole cycle over. That, my friends, is the trap. Not a bad compound, an unmeasurable protocol. You can't repeat what you can't attribute. And avoiding it comes down to 2 rules that the ranking videos skip, because they're about order, not just the compounds themselves, and that's where we'll start. Okay, so rule number 1, I call it foundation first. Peptides don't work on a broken foundation. If you've heard me say this before, it's because it's that important. Sleep, protein optimization, training, stress management, that's the base layer. And I want to be precise here because people get this backwards. A broken foundation doesn't mean peptides will hurt you. It just means they're going to likely under-deliver or do nothing that you can feel at all. You can run a growth hormone support peptide perfectly, and if you're sleeping 5 hours a night, you're just paid good money to fight your own lifestyle to possibly a draw. The compound wasn't fake, it's that the foundation stole the results. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now because I hear it all the time. Dr. Jones, if diet and training matter that much, isn't this whole peptide thing just a waste of money? Now, just be consistent for 5 years, right? It's all you got to do. And honestly, that take isn't bad. Consistency is the base. And that's why it's rule number 1 and not a footnote. But here's the half it completely misses. The foundation and the peptide aren't competing for the same job. The foundation is what makes a peptide worth paying for. Because on a solid base, you can actually feel and measure what the compound adds. You skip the base and you're not saving money by avoiding peptides. You're just guaranteeing that whatever you eventually run can't show what it's capable of. And real quick here, if that trap that I just described a minute ago hit a little close to home and your setup has gotten complicated enough that Reddit answers aren't cutting it anymore, that's literally what we do. Your peptides get prescribed through our 503A partner pharmacies. You get a medical team that's actually reachable when a question comes up. Real humans, not ticketing systems. Just text the number on the screen or check out that link in the description to book a free discovery call. Okay, so rule number 2, never run a compound that you can't really measure. Every peptide in your protocol needs its own scoreboard. Whatever that is, a result that you can't point to and say, that one's doing its job. And notice what the rule does not say. It doesn't say one peptide at a time. And it doesn't even say one goal at a time. In our clinic, we work with people on weight loss and healing an injury at the same time. And we do it all the time because those report 2 different scoreboards. The scale may tell you one story, your shoulder may tell you another. Neither one muddies the read on the other. Now, what breaks the scoreboard is different. It's 2 compounds doing the same job at the same time. Now, something improved and you can't tell which one earned its place. It's compounds pulling in opposite directions where one is quietly canceling what the other one is building. And it's tossing something in with no readout at all. No marker, no measurement, just vibes, right? And that's how you end up 6 weeks deep. Something feels better, something feels off, and you genuinely can't say which vial did what. So you blame the expensive one, drop the compound that was actually working, and start over. That's the unmeasurable protocol from the top of this video. And it has nothing to do with how many goals you actually have. So here's how I actually run it with the patients that I coach. Every compound gets a clear job, its own way of proving it's working, and a fair evaluation window. Now for most compounds, 2 to 4 weeks before you judge anything. What improves on its scoreboard, you can actually trust. You can repeat it. That's the momentum I talked about at the top. Each layer earns its spot before the next one comes in. Okay, so the question that the entire roadmap hangs on, what's the problem costing you the most right now? Because that answer, not a tier list, picks the door that you walk through first. And real quick, I break down peptides, GLP-1s, and metabolic health with this same no guesswork approach every single week. And each of these doors is getting its own deeper dive. Be sure to subscribe so that those videos actually reach you when they drop. Okay, so door number 1, stubborn fat and metabolic health. Now this, my friends, is the biggest door, and it's also the one that most people walk through a little backwards. So here's the mistake that I see. Somebody wants fat loss, so they start off with a growth hormone peptide cycle, maybe CJC, IPA. Usually because a podcast told them growth hormone burns fat. And I get the logic. But Dr. Jones, wait, I thought IPA was the fat loss peptide. I know, that's what the forums say. But here's what I've seen coaching people through this for years. Growth hormone support is a slow burn optimization layer. If stubborn fat is your number one problem, starting there is like remodeling the kitchen while the house is still freaking on fire. The fat loss door opens with the metabolic layer, and there's an order inside of it. I call this the 3-system framework. Appetite control first, fat mobilization second, and metabolic enhancement third. Appetite control means a GLP-1. That's the lever that everything else builds on. Because if hunger is running the show, nothing downstream gets a fair test. Now, once that's dialed in, you layer in the fat mobilization piece, and that's where the metabolic 2 piece comes in. The GLP-1 handling the demand, and say, for example, the AOD 9604 working the supply side, designed to release stored fat so that it can actually get burned. 2 compounds here, 1 problem, 2 different scoreboards. Now, appetite and the scale tell you the GLP-1 story. The stubborn areas tell you the AOD story. And third, metabolic enhancement, the category that I like to call exercise in a bottle. Compounds like MOT-C or Sloop 332 or even 0304 built to push your metabolic machinery to do more with the same effort. That's the finisher, not the opener. And then we got door number 2, injury and recovery. So if you're the person with the shoulder that won't heal or the knee that ends every workout early, the entry point that I use with the patients who I coach, that's the Wolverine stack. We're talking BPC 157 and TB 500. And this door, I know personally. I still play competitive volleyball and both of my knees have taken years of abuse from it. There were stretches where after a tournament, I'd be so damn sore and swollen around my knees that I couldn't play. And I still cycle this stack for my knees. And sometimes for some back pain as well. And I still play on the court competitively. And notice what made that result trustworthy. It was 1 problem with a clear scoreboard. Can I play? And how do my knees feel afterwards? The compounds were a purpose-built pair aimed at the same target. That's the model that I want for you, whatever your injury is. And then door number 3, sleep, recovery, longevity. This is where the growth hormone support peptides actually live. CJC IPA is the classic pairing in peptide clinics. But the nuance, for most people, this layer works best after the foundation is set because growth hormone release happens in deep sleep. Support the pathway when sleep is a mess and you're amplifying a whisper. Now, in our clinic, there are cases where the medical team starts somebody here on day number 1. When sleep is the presenting problem, that can be exactly right. The point is the scoreboard. Sleep quality is usually the first thing that moves and it's measurable within weeks. And then we got door number 4, skin, hair, and cosmetic aging. That's the glow stack, its own door, quicker to summarize. If the visible stuff is your priority, this is a legitimate entry point, and it deserves its own full video. So that's the map, guys. Stubborn fat, metabolic layer in a 3-system order. Injury, Wolverine, sleep and longevity, growth hormone support, cosmetic, and glow. Now listen, I want to be straight with you about something here. What I just gave you is the default routing, and it's the right starting logic for most people, but there are real variables underneath it. Your labs, your medications, your training, how your body responds in the first few weeks. There are absolutely cases where the right order, looks different from this map, and knowing when to deviate from the default is exactly the part that takes an expert. The map gets you in the right door, but reading your variables once you're inside it, that's a different skill. And it's honestly the whole reason that supervised protocols outperformed copied generic ones. So here's my challenge before we go on. Without scrolling backwards, could you say which door is yours and what's your first scoreboard and what your first scoreboard would be? If you had to think about that, that's worth 10 seconds because that answer is your entire protocol's foundation. And I'll make you a deal on that one. The video covered 4 doors in one roadmap, but each door deserves its own full walkthrough. So let me know in the comments which door is yours. The metabolic, the recovery, sleep and longevity, or is it cosmetic? The most requested door ends up becoming one of our upcoming videos that I'll go completely in full, very in depth. Okay, so know your door. So now the part that separates people who get results from people who get stories. How do you actually run the protocol? Well, first, the introduction rule. When a new compound enters your protocol, it gets its evaluation window, say for most peptides, 2 to 4 weeks before you judge anything or add in the next layer. Now, again, under medical supervision, there are absolutely times when we do layer in multiple peptides, but for this general sake of it, I would say this is a good foundation nonetheless. Like I said, that doesn't always mean one compound at a time. A purpose-built pair aimed at a target, like Wolverine, they enter together. What the window protects is the read. Whatever came in, you know what it's doing before anything new muddies the water. Okay, second, cycling. Now, most peptides aren't a forever drip. The pattern that I use with patients who I coach is 3 to 4 months on, then a full month off. Now that off month buys you something that money can't, a clean look at what holds without the compound, which, by the way, is its own scoreboard. If everything that you gained evaporates the moment you stop, that's information about your foundation. And third, and this is the one that'll save you some real money here, sourcing. Everything I've described assumes that the vial contains what the label says. And with research site peptides, that's genuinely not a safe assumption. You'll hear things like, but they post a certificate of analysis, right? A COA. Now here's the thing that forums figured out the hard way. If that certificate isn't tied to a specific lot that you're holding, it's essentially just marketing. A PDF from some batch sometimes proves nothing about your vial in your hand. The only version of that document that means anything is the one matched to your actual lot. And the people who take it seriously send a vial of their own batch out for independent testing. That's the standard that the serious end of the research chemical world has arrived at. Or, and this is the entire reason 503A compounding pharmacies exist, you get your peptides prescribed and compounded under actual pharmacy regulation, where the testing isn't a courtesy PDF, it's the law. That's how we source everything in our clinic. And right now, that matters more than it ever has. The FDA has been actively reviewing which peptides compounding pharmacies can make, and several of the big names got discussed at their advisory committee this summer. And the legitimate supply lane is getting more narrow for various peptides, not wider. Now, real quick, while we're talking about money wasters, let me know in the comment, what was your first peptide experience? What did it look like? Did you start with a clear target or did you run a full stack out of the gate? And be honest, could you actually tell what was working? Because I do my best to read the majority of these comments, and the most common patterns end up becoming upcoming videos. And one steer away here, because it comes up constantly. MK677, it gets solid in the growth hormone conversation like it's a cheap oral peptide. It's technically not a peptide at all. It's actually what we call a small molecule drug that hits the ghrelin receptors. It'll spike hunger and it can push your insulin resistance in exactly the wrong direction. That's the exact opposite of what half of you walked through door number 1 to freaking fix. There are better tools behind every one of these doors. So, honest evaluation, windows, real off cycles, and a source that you don't have to cross your fingers about. Now, before we talk about building up from here, be honest with yourself for a second. Of everything that we just covered, which one is actually the weak spot and how you would run this? For most people watching, it's not the compound choice. It's one of these 3. So when you do add the next layer, simple test, 3 parts here. The current compound has cleared its evaluation window. Its scoreboard is moving. You can name the result, not just feel vaguely better. And your foundation hasn't slipped where you were focused on the protocol. Are all 3 true? If so, you've earned the next layer. Go back to your door and add the next compound that it calls for. Any of them false, adding something new right now doesn't speed you up. It just resets you to that person from the beginning of this video. That's 5 experiments, 1 body and no answers. And that's the full circle, because here's what I hoped clicked for you. The people who end up running impressive multi-compound protocols didn't start by buying everything. They built it, 1 layer at a time, each one measured, each one earning its spot. A stack isn't something that you buy, it's something that you graduate into. And if you've ever opened a vial from a research site and wondered whether you're actually injecting what's actually on the label, or you've run compounds for months and you still couldn't say for sure what was actually working, that's exactly the situation that we're built for. And if this roadmap made sense for you, but you're looking at your own variables, your labs, your medications, your response, and you're thinking that your order might need to look a little different here, that read is the part that you don't have to figure out alone. So here's what we do differently. A lot of peptide clinics, they ship the prescription and that's it. No phone call, no one to text when something comes up. With us, your peptides are prescribed through our partner compounding pharmacies, those 503A types that we mentioned earlier, and you get a medical team that's actually reachable by text or phone. You know, for those moments when a real question comes up, those are humans, not ticketing or AI systems. This is bundled in together. This is not a separate deal. Just text the number on the screen or check out that link in the description to book your free discovery call. You'll talk with one of our patient educators. They're going to walk through what you're trying to solve, and then they're going to explain how the intake call with our medical team works. The medical team then, if you decide to move forward with us, will design your protocol on that intake call. And after that, you've got a hotline when you need it. One more thing. If peptides caught your attention because what you're really trying to solve is a weight loss problem at its root, we've got a coaching layer that goes significantly deeper than just peptides alone. That's my department. That's what I run. And I'm personally most passionate about getting you guys permanent weight maintenance. Text that same number either way. And quick note, before you book, if what you're really after is just a doctor to sign off on a stack that you're sourcing and running on your own, no coaching, no prescription through us, that's not what we do. Okay, so now you've picked your door. The next thing to master is the order that you layer compounds once you're inside of it. And I got a full video walking through exactly how that works. There it is right there, guys. Check it out, and we'll see you later.